Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting properly informed. Today, we're tackling a common idea about RC model vehicles. That it's mostly a Western male thing. But our deep dive, looking at global market research, comparing hobbies, checking out what communities are saying, well, it actually points to something way more diverse, way more dynamic. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's true. What you see at your local RC track, maybe, that might look pretty uniform, but the global picture, it's way more complex.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack how big economic changes and cultural stuff are really shaking up who's involved. It's broader than a lot of people think.
Okay, so for years, right, the stereotype for RC in North America, Europe, mainly white guys. And honestly, what our sources found kind of backs that up, at least for the traditional folks in Western countries. Like there was this one survey, RC Car Action magazine readers.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that one.
They found the average enthusiast was like a 37-year-old guy, decent income, planning to spend maybe over $2,000 a year, and the gender split, 99% male.
What?
So yeah, in the West, that old idea, it had some real truth to it historically.
Well, that makes a lot of sense when you think about how it started. The hobby really took off in places with, more disposable income.
Yeah.
That kind of set the foundation. And the gear, I mean, the really good hobby grade stuff, nitro cars, those detailed scale crawlers, it's not cheap.
Right. Still isn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That cost is a real factor. It shaped who we saw at events in the magazines for, decades.
Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting on a global scale. North America and Europe might be that sort of steady base, but the research, it's screaming Asia-Pacific.
Yeah.
China, Japan, India, Southeast Asia, that's the massive growth engine now. What's behind that huge shift?
It's not just like new markets opening up. It's more like unlocking this passion that's been there a while, but now there's the money. Japan, for instance, total RC hub for ages. Tamiya, Kyosho,
Huge.
Iconic brands, yeah. Totally. And now you've got this rapidly growing middle class, more spending power across many of these Asian countries. So hobbyists of Asian descent, they're a massive, structurally crucial part of the global scene now. Yeah. And growing fast, you see them more and more at RC events, even over here in the West. It directly reflects that huge economic change. It's just not only a Western hobby anymore.
And it's not just about where people live or their bank balance either. We're seeing this incredible mix in who's becoming like the face of the hobby online. Our sources pointed out creators like Mark Santamaria.
The U.S. racer.
Yeah, prominent Hispanic YouTuber in racing.
Yeah.
And Kevin Talbot, Black creator from the U.K.
Oh, Kevin Talbot's huge, like 3 million subscribers, right?
Over 3 million.
Yeah.
You could argue he's one of the biggest RC influencers anywhere, period. Their visibility, their reach, you just can't ignore it. But what's that telling us about who the hobby actually appeals to?
It brings up a really interesting point, doesn't it? About perceived diversity versus maybe the actual potential audience. The online forums might still be super technical, lots of gear talk.
Right. But the people really leading the charge on YouTube, incredibly diverse. And their massive popularity proves the global RC audience isn't just okay with it. They're actively looking for creators from different backgrounds. It makes you wonder if the barriers are less about the culture within the hobby being unwelcoming and maybe more about just getting that initial exposure or, again, the cost.
Success, yeah.
These influencers are like a vanguard, They're shaping RC's image for the future and making it feel more open for everybody.
So putting it all together, what's the demographic picture look like now? It's kind of layered. You've got that traditional base, mostly white, in the West. They built the foundation.
Yep, the historical core.
Then this huge, powerful, fast-growing Asian presence. That's driven by money, yes, but also deep RC roots in places like Japan.
Absolutely crucial piece.
And then you've got this really influential group of Black and Hispanic creators, especially visible online, pulling in massive global audiences and really shaping the culture. Exactly. That idea of one single average RC hobbyist, it's fading fast. It doesn't really fit anymore. And looking ahead, it seems like it's just going to get more diverse. Global economies keep developing. People are realizing RC is actually great for STEM education.
Right, the learning aspect.
Yeah, and these online digital communities are just getting bigger and more connected, maybe more so than the old local clubs. It's properly global now.
So, given all that diversification, that incredible mix, what's the RC hobby going to look like in, say, 10 years? And how does it keep innovating, keep changing to bring in an even wider, more global crowd? Something to think about until our next deep dive.